You are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So day 3 of Dream Job, and I thought today was going to be it. I thought it was all going to be fucking over. The supervisors will be like, all right, we've had enough of you over here. Just head to the other site. But no, today was the greatest day of work I've ever had. It can't possibly get better. This is it. This is the Zenith. It's all downhill from here. After this little fucking period, I'm going to be like scuba diving in sewerage or something. Today was too perfect. So I get to work and I'm scanning around and I'm like, I'm not even going to fucking speak to anyone today. I'm just going to sit in the lunchroom, refresh the Bitcoin price for 4 hours and then just sign off. And I get a coffee in the morning out there, so I went to get a coffee and they're setting up for a fucking barbecue. And I'm like, what? There's a barbecue today? There's a fucking barbecue out here? And I'm like, oh shit, usually the barbecue's at like 12:30 and I'm going to be out of here at about 10:30. What the fuck am I going to do? Because I'm definitely staying for the barbecue. 110, I'm staying for the barbecue. I just need to figure out a way to bridge the gap between like 10:30 and 12:30. I need an excuse. It's not really 12:30. It's 10:30 and 12. I need something to do for that hour and a half. So if anyone asks, why were you there longer than normal? And I don't even think that matters either, because I've been there 4 hours for the last 2 days, but the first day I was there 6.5 hours. I don't think anyone knows exactly what's going on, but I'm keeping it at 4 hours just to keep it low profile. 4 hour minimum. So I get my coffee and I go back to the lunchroom and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do to bridge the gap? How am I going to make it look like I was doing something? And then as I'm thinking this, one of the engineers calls me and is like, hey, we need to get an EWP picked up, a boom lift and a scissor lift. Can you find them and make sure they're up the top? So I'm like 110. I can take 4.5 hours to find these things. I can take pretty much from 10:30 till 12 to find these things. I guarantee you. Anyway, I start looking around and I find the boom lift that's already up there and the scissor lift, couldn't find it at all. I'm walking around. The engineer is like, fucking, have you found it yet? I'm like, no, there's 2 of them. This is about 9 o'clock. So I'm like, all right, this isn't really going to bridge the gap. I mean, I can take the piss looking for these fucking EWPs, but I can't take like a 4-hour piss. Anyway, I get back upstairs. I get into the lunchroom and then I'm speaking to the door guy. There's a security guard that operates the gate. An Iraqi dude. He's from Babylon. He said he's from Babylon. It's so fucking weird. There's someone from everywhere on these sites. Today I spent my day talking to a Babylonian, an Ecuadorian, a Pakistani, and an Irish guy. Anyway, I'm speaking to the security guard, who's a great dude, and he's like, oh, we've got a fire drill today at 10 o'clock. And he's like a good dude. He knows the situation I'm in. He's like, he wants me to fucking ride it out with him as well because he's just sitting there by himself. And I usually stop and have like a 20-minute chat with him here and there. So he helps me out a bit. He's like, yeah, just fucking enjoy yourself. Anyway, he's like, yeah, we have a fire drill at 10 o'clock. I'm like, when? He's like, 10. I'm like, what time will that finish? He's like, oh, I'll probably go to 11:30. I'm like, here we are. Just on a fucking silver platter. The bridge I needed to get to the barbecue. It's like all my prayers were answered, even though I was going to stay regardless. But now I have an excuse. I have no fear. So the fire drill kicks off and it takes for fucking ever. And all the workers go back down into the station box and I'm left up top with all the paramedics and fire department and doctors and rope access workers. And it's me and the security guard in line, first in line with these cunts to the barbecue. And the barbecue was great. Some chicken, some lamb chops, some salad, some pita bread. Oh, it was worth it. I went back for seconds and then I looked at the time and it was like 12:45 and I'm like, fuck, I have to get to the other job site and I also have to stop for a coffee on the way. So I'm actually going to be late to the next job site. That's not going to be good. So I was like, all right, I'm going to sign off. I better find this cunt that I've been signing off with and fucking try and smooth him over because I haven't seen him all day. Anyway, I couldn't find him, so I have to call my boss and I'm like, hey, I'm just signing off. The guy's not here. Who should I sign off with? And he's like, oh, any of those engineers down there you can sign off with. And so I walk into the office and I find some guy and I'm like, can you sign me off? He's like, what? And I'm like, oh, this other guy usually does it, but he's not here. And he's like, yeah, he won't be here for a week. I'm like, well, you can sign it then. I don't know, anyone. And he's like, well, you can grab me or this guy or this guy. And I'm like, oh, there's 4 people that can sign me off. That makes things a lot easier because I can just rotate through them. I've been going to the same guy every day. That's a strategic blunder. What you want to do is just keep low profile, completely low profile, and just go to one person once every like 4 days. So they just think you're here to do some work. Like you've just popped up. First time they've seen you in 4 days, they're signing you off. They're like, oh, he must have had to come in to fix a fucking patch or do some welding or something. You know what I mean? But if I go to the same guy every day, he's like, what the fuck is this cunt doing here? So I'm like, all right, well, if there's 4 people signing me off, I can extend this out for a little while longer, I reckon. Before questions get asked, I reckon I can fucking stretch it out. Anyway, I get signed off, head to the other site, go down to the other site, and they've fucked the scaffold up. And the only thing we could do was where the scaffold was meant to be. And they took it out because they were putting some fucking bracing in and they couldn't put it back in. And so that was it. That was my day. I spent the rest of the day speaking to the guy from Ecuador and having a chat to my Irish mate. And that was it. That was my day. A couple of hours having a chat and then sign off and then home. And I'm like, today couldn't have gone better. But tomorrow, I think it's over tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be my last day of whatever this is. Even if it is, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I reckon I've clocked up about 4 hours, maybe 3 of actual work this week. So it's been a good week. Anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. That'll do for tonight, and I'll see ya the fuck later.